Magandang araw po sa inyong mga Foxnatics at welcome po sa ating special episode ngayong araw. Nandito po tayo sa bahay ni Justice Tony Carpio para kausapin siya para sa isa nating episode, yung tawag natin dito, Facts First Convos. Alam niyo po, madalas niyo po makita si Justice Carpio dito sa iba't ibang mga media platforms explaining things regarding the West Philippine Sea issue, regarding China's aggression. Pero mas pag-uusapan natin, bakit ba ito yung advokasya na kanyang in-embrace at ano ba yung mga legal options, of course, that are still available for us. So I'd like to welcome to our Facts First Convos, retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Tony Carpio. Magandang araw po, sir.
Magandang araw,
Yeah.
Christian. Salamat for having me.
Okay, tayo, simula pa lang, napapangiti na natin si Justice Carpio. Goal natin lagi yan sa Facts First. Justice na pala, madalas kayong madalas magkamali yung mga nag-introduce sa inyo, Chief Justice. No? Madalas kayong ma-promote.
Oo. Madalas ako ma-promote.
Okay. Sige, pag-usapan natin itong advocacy kasi nag-retire kayo in 2019, tama po ba?
Tama yan, 2019 I retired.
Pero why did you embrace this particular advocacy?
Well, it goes back to yung Chief Presidential Legal Counsel ako ni President Ramos in 1992 to 1996. In 1995, we discovered, di ba, yung the Chinese took over Mischief Reef.
Yeah.
Then nagkagulo yun. And at that time, we already ratified UNCLOS, pero yung China hindi pa nag-ratify. So hindi natin maabla yung China sa UNCLOS Tribunal. Hindi pa nila na-ratify. So ang nangyari doon, wala tayong magagawa kasi hindi naman natin pwede labanan ng China. Kakasipa lang natin ng mga Amerikano doon, 1995, no? We kicked out the Americans 1992, 1993. So, wala na yung Amerikano, pumasok ang China sa Mischief Reef. Paano sila paalisin natin? Mischief Reef is not territory, pero within our exclusive economic zone. No? Pinag-usapan, hindi natin kaya labanan ng China.
By force.
O by force. So, ang ginawa natin, dinala natin yung mga journalist doon, sinakay natin sa isang Philippine Navy ship, yung Philippine Navy ship nag-conk out pa nga, hindi nga umabot. So, talagang hanggang doon tayo, we just publicize, no? But we ask our ASEAN neighbors, so that was the start of the negotiation for the Declaration of Conduct, actually that led to the Declaration of Conduct, which said that from that time, no country will occupy unoccupied features. Pag na-occupy mo na, okay lang. But para hindi magkaroon ng tension, hinto na yung occupying new unoccupied features. So, ganun. So, it was in my mind, paano yan? Wala tayong nagawa. I mean, we could not stop China. Klaro naman na sa atin yung Mischief Reef. So that percolated in my mind. No? Talagang it bugged me. So finally, when I was in the Supreme Court, may isang kaso yung Magallona versus Executive Secretary. Kini-question yung Baselines Law, yung amended Baselines Law, Republic Act 9522. Napunta sa akin yung kaso, I decided it. And unanimous naman ang Supreme Court. Tsaka doon nakita ko na we can win against China by using international law, by using UNCLOS. But before we can do that, we have to put our baselines in order. Kasi dati, gusto ng mga petitioners, sila Magallona, sila Harry Roque, yung abogado niya, na yung ating baseline, yung Treaty of Paris lines. Everything within the Treaty of Paris lines, territorial sea natin. Territory. So, pag ganyan, parang China tayo, meron tayong 9-dash line, labag sa UNCLOS, labag yung Treaty of Paris line sa UNCLOS. Historical line, hindi naman rin recognize. So, sabi ko, if we can put our baselines in order under Republic Act 9522, yun ang intention ng Republic Act 9522 to comply with UNCLOS. Kasi yung ating claim na ang territorial sea natin are the waters enclosed by the Treaty of Paris line. Talagang nobody accepted that eh.
Problematic yan.
Problematic yung kasi 12 nautical miles lang ang territorial sea mo eh. Eh yun sobra. Sinakop na natin yung high seas eh. Portions of the high seas eh.
Pero dun po sa UNCLOS, di ba, malinaw naman doon, ilan yung 200 nautical miles, di ba? Para
Yes.
easy. So we had to fit our laws doon.
Yung territorial sea kasi 12 nautical mile. Ang gusto nila Harry Roque, yung territorial sea natin, we will not follow the 12 nautical mile. Ang sundin natin yung Treaty of Paris lines. Parang China, 9-dash line. So, unanimous, of course, we have to comply with UNCLOS because we ratified UNCLOS, no? So sabi ko, pag nag-ratify na tayo, we can sue China now. There is a principle in international law, it's also domestic law, na if you go to court, you must go to court with clean hands.
Yeah.
In other words, hindi mo pwede akusang China na may 9-dash line sila na labag sa UNCLOS, ikaw rin meron ka ring Treaty of Paris lines na labag sa UNCLOS.
So we had to clean our hands first.
Yes, clean our hands first. Yun ang principle. So, that Republic Act 9522 cleaned our hands. So, that's why yung pumunta na tayo sa The Hague, sa tribunal, tinanong ng isang judge di ba meron din kayong you also have a equivalent to the 9-dash line, yung Treaty of Paris lines. Nilabas na natin yung desisyon. Republic Act 9522, as affirmed by the decision, wala na yan. We complied with UNCLOS completely.
So this has been your advocacy since the mid-90s?
Well, mid-90s, that started it dahil dito sa yung nangyari yung mischief reef eh. Talagang it really jarred my mind na China will just seize your EEZ, kukunin lang, wala kang magagawa. Yung ano ba ito? Pag gagawin ito ng China, mauubos tayo.
Going back to sa mid-90s, 1995, how bothered was the administration then? Ramos time, no?
Well, we were bothered, of course, pero ang problema, what can we do? We just kick out the Americans eh. So, we just had to play friendly with China na hanggang dyan na lang Wag na. Pero, China was not satisfied. 2012, kinuha na naman yung Scarborough Shoal. Mas grabe, mas importante sa atin yung Scarborough Shoal. So, alam mo, when we kick out the Americans, dapat yung Senado natin na foresee nila na pag i-kick out mo yung Americans, may power vacuum.
Yeah.
At saka pag may power vacuum sa South China Sea, the next power will come in. And ang next power is China. But we did not study that eh. Basta we just wanted to kick out the Americans, happy na tayo. We did not consider the consequences. Yun ang consequence. Pumasok sila sa mischief reef. When they entered mischief reef, hindi pa rin tayo gumising. Hindi pa rin tayo nag-prepare na baka kunin yung iba. Kinuha nga yung Scarborough Shoal 2012. Doon tayo gumising.
Pero ang tagal, no? From 1995
ang tagal.
to 2012.
Yes, ang tagal. At saka hanggang ngayon, they still want to get more, no?
Hindi ba pumasok sa discussions nung pagpapatalsik sa US bases noong 1990, 1991 sa Senado, itong issue ng mischief, or this caught everyone by surprise?
Wala. They never entered the discussion. They all believed that China was a benign power. Sabi ng China, we will have a peaceful rise. Everybody was lulled na ang China will not do it, no?
So between 1995 and 2012, tas 2013, we filed the arbitration case. No? Ano po pala yung naging role nyo doon sa Philippine team? So to speak?
Well, observer ako kasi I was a justice of the Supreme Court at that time. Bawal to do any executive function under the Constitution. So, ang sabi ko, pwede ako sumama as observer. So, lahat na tuwing magpadala tayo ng delegation sa The Hague, may may travel order yan Nakalagay doon who are the members of the delegation. Pagdating sa pangalan ko, nakalagay observer. Kasi sabi ko, ilagay ninyo observer because I cannot be part of the official executive delegation. Kaya observer lang pinalagay ko.
Pero around that time, medyo vocal na rin kayo publicly about China's assertiveness at that time.
Yeah, kasi ang nangyari dyan, in 1 year before China seized Scarborough Shoal, pumunta ako kay Secretary De Rosario. I mean, nagpasama ako kay former DND Secretary Nonong Cruz. Magkaibigan sila. Hindi ko naman kilala si De Rosario. So, tapos sinabi ko, I have here a memo na how we can bring China to an UNCLOS tribunal. Ito yon. You don't have to believe me. You bring this to the experts in US and Europe if this is feasible. We question the 9-dash line as invalid under UNCLOS. Kasi yung 9-dash line yun ang base ng China to claim almost the entire.
That.
We have to invalidate that. Sabi ko, pwede natin ipa-invalidate ito. We sue China before an UNCLOS tribunal. So,
you prepared the memo?
Yeah, I prepared the memo. Binigay ko sa kanya. And pinag-aralan niya with his lawyers. And then kinausap niya si Reichler. At saka yung ibang mga he instructed ng ambassador natin in the US to look for lawyers who are experts in international law, on UNCLOS especially. And sabi nila, pwede, we can sue China. So, pinuntahan niya si President Aquino. Sabi niya, we can sue China before an UNCLOS tribunal. Sabi ni Pinoy, why do you want to sue China? Ano bang ginawa ng China sa atin?
Yun ang first reaction niya.
Oh. So, ganyan nangyari. So, walang nangyari. And then, several months later, ito na, nangyari na yung standoff sa Scarborough Shoal. In November, nagkaroon ng summit sa Cambodia. At doon si President Aquino, andun yung mga ASEAN heads. Yung China, andun rin kasi may extension yung summit with China. Yeah. Sabi ng Vice Premier ng China kay President Aquino, our Coast Guard vessels in Scarborough Shoal will stay there permanently. They will not leave anymore.
Wow.
Yun ang sabi. Nagulat si Pinoy. So, pagbalik nila dito sa Manila, tinawag niya si De Rosario. Sabi niya, anong gagawin natin? Saan yung pinakita mo sa akin na pwede natin maabla ang China?
This was November 2012.
November 2012 yung
months after the standoff.
Senate. The standoff was mid-2012
Yeah.
Tapos, so pagbalik nila dito December, kasi end of November yung summit Yun, pinag-usapan nila na can we sue China? Kasi ang option ng presidente, commander-in-chief ka ng armed forces, in-invade. Kasi Scarborough Shoal is a high tide. That's land territory yan In-invade. Ikaw ang commander-in-chief. Dapat bawiin mo.
May gawin ka.
May gawin ka. Pag wala kang gagawin, pwede ka i-impeach. Hindi naman natin kaya papadala yung Marines i-retake. Outnumbered tayo. Ang dami nilang mga Coast Guard at saka Navy ship doon. So, ang option is to retaliate, to respond by bringing China to an UNCLOS tribunal. Dahil sabi naman ng UN Charter, disputes should be settled by peaceful means, by negotiation, and finally by arbitration. You do not use force or threat of force. So, yun ang ginawa natin. We follow the rule of law. Instead of sending our Marines to Scarborough Shoal, we sent our lawyers to The Hague. Sabi ni President Aquino kay Secretary De Rosario, sana yung papeles na sinasabi mo, we can sue China. Kasi you have to respond Galit ng mga tao
So, mabilis. Kasi if I remember correctly, January, ready na yung submission.
Yes, kasi handa na. Dahil, before the standoff happened, Del Rosario already talked to the lawyers. Sabi nila, pwede. Naghanda na sila, may opinion na sila, pwede. Pinag-aralan na nila.
So, ready na lahat?
Ready na lahat.
Okay.
Ready for filing na when Del Rosario went to the President. Sabi ni President, bakit gusto mo ablahin ng China? Wala namang ginagawa. Pumasok ang China sa Scarborough Shoal. Tama-tama. Handa na. That's why, December yun, nag-usap sila. The following month, final na. January 13, I think.
Oh. Tapos incidentally, nangyari sa Scarborough po, yung standoff, no? That was a legal action by the Philippine government. Di ba? We use our Navy ship to accost Chinese poachers.
Oo.
Tama. Pero ginagamit siya kasi ng mga Chinese propagandists. At that time pala, naalala ko na, may nakipag-usap din sa akin, sinasabi, kasalanan ng Pilipinas yan dahil nagpadala ng gray ship. Dapat daw white ship. Di ba yung white ship, gray
Yes,
ship
oo.
narrative?
May ano yan eh. Yung gray ship, yung ano natin, BRP Gregorio del Pilar yata yun, Navy ship. On that day, it was on its way to beyond the northern Luzon dahil North Korea fired a missile. And we always monitor that eh. Nagpapadala tayo ng Navy ship to monitor. Yung just a little past Scarborough Shoal, papunta na sila doon, they receive a message na maaga pala ni-launch ng China at ng North Korea yung missile. So, wala na, nakaalis na. So, bumalik sila. Pagbalik nila, they receive a radio message from yung mga fishermen natin sa loob ng lagoon, sa Scarborough Shoal. May radio yan sila eh. Nare-radio nila yung Navy eh. Meron dito mga Chinese na kinukumukuha ng Taclobo. So, wala tayong ibang barko doon except the BRP Gregorio del Pilar, pinapunta doon. Bago nila pinapunta doon, SOP, Standard Operating Procedure, nagpalipad tayo ng aeroplano, Air Force, chinek kung meron bang mga Chinese Coast Guard vessels o Navy ships around. Wala. Within visual range lang yan, no? So, wala. Dumiretso. Pagdating nila doon, bigla na lang sumulpot yung mga Chinese Coast Guard. Hinaharang na sa mouth ng ano. So, nagulat. Yung pala, the Chinese were just outside. Yung post-mortem natin, after what happened, so nag-post-mortem yung Navy, ang conclusion nila, it was a trap. Alam nila na nagpapadala tayo ng Navy ship every time may launch ang North Korea.
So we were being baited?
Baited. That's also what I believe. May finire nila yung ang kinausap nila yung North Korea, you fire it ahead of schedule.
Para dumating yung...
Pagdating nila, babalik yan. And then, alam nila babalik na, pinalabas ng mga fishermen nila, yung maritime militia nila, yung mga Taclobo. Nakita ng mga fishermen natin, nag-radio. May mga Chinese dito kumuha ng Taclobo. So pumunta. Pero alam nila na nagpapadala tayo palagi ng Air Force plane to check kung meron bang mga Navy ships ang China or Coast Guard vessel in the area. Wala. So dumiretso. Pero alam nila kung saan lumilipad yung ating reconnaissance plane. So they stayed farther away na hindi makita visually.
Kung totoo yan, Justice, that was a very elaborate bait.
Yes, it was elaborate.
To give them reason to send Coast Guard ships there and stay there for good.
Yes. So, kaya pagdating ng ng Navy ship, suddenly, ang daming Coast Guard vessel ng China.
Kaya ganun kabilis.
Yes. Okay. So, andoon lang sila. They kept their distance na hindi sila makita visually kasi visual lang eh. So, alam nila anong gagawin natin. Nagpapalipad tayo ng aeroplano. So, doon sila sa lang. And talagang it worked according to their plan. So, sinabi nila, bakit gray ship versus white ship ang Yun, isang propaganda nila yun.
Yun lang kasi yung nandun sa atin.
Yun lang. At saka tinignan natin, wala na mga ibang Chinese Coast Guard. Bigla na lang, Yun ang palagi. But you have to remember na yung BRP Gregorio del Pilar, Coast Guard vessel yan sa US. Pagdating dito, binigay sa atin, ginawa natin Navy ship. Pang Coast Guard lang talaga yan eh. That's one. Secondly, yung kanilang Coast Guard, under the military rin. Under the command of the Navy, hindi civilian eh. So, rin sila, military din yun.
So, ginagamit nila against us yung common definition of Coast Guard.
Yung common definition of Coast Guard.
Whenever convenient to them.
Whenever convenient to them. Ngayon, ang ginawa ng China, exactly what they did to the Vietnamese in 1974. In 1974, South Vietnam was still under the South Vietnamese government, no? Eh, nakita ng South Vietnamese na yung yung half of the paracels was part of Vietnam at the time under the South Vietnamese government. So may mga outpost sila doon. Nakita nila yung mga Chinese pumapasok, may mga Chinese fishing vessel. Mukhang madami, so nagpadala sila ng kanilang navy. Pagdating ng navy nila, bigla na lang sumulpot yung mga Chinese navy vessels.
Binulaga rin sila.
Binulugarin sila. Di nagbakbakan. Handa. Bigla na lang dumating. Ang daming dumating. So, outnumbered sila kaagad. Actually, years later, lumabas sa internet yung mga Chinese na assigned to that operation, nagsalita na pinaghandaan nila yon. Months before, pinaghandaan nila na mag-ibibate nila yung South Vietnamese, tapos andoon lang sila, papasok sila. Kaya, the same thing that they did to the Vietnamese, they did to us in 2012. In 1974, they baited the South Vietnamese. In 2012, they baited us also.
Nako. So, next question dyan, yung ongoing harassment ba ngayon po sa mga resupply missions natin?
Yes.
Is there something of that sort also?
Could be. Kaya ang aking recommendation, do not fire. Pag bladed weapons sila, bladed weapons din tayo. Just para hindi sila makaboard.
So yung huling ginawa sa atin, mukhang bait din?
Bait din yun, tingin ko.
Okay.
To bait us to use weapons. And then, gagamit sila ng weapons. Talo tayo.
So parang sa suntukan, nauna kang sumuntok, parang ganun po.
Oo. Pag walang armas, no firearms, that's in modern warfare, that's not considered an armed attack. So pag mga itak ang dala nila, itak rin ang dala natin. Huwag gumamit ng firearms. The moment we use firearms, overwhelming firepower gagamitin nila. Sasabihin, kayong gumamit una ng firearms, nag-respond lang kami.
Could that also escalate into the takeover of BRP Sierra Madre po?
Yun ang ngayon. Yung BRP Sierra Madre, sabi ng Amerikano, they agreed with us, that is still a Navy ship.
Commission pa rin.
Commission pa rin. So, kaya they cannot attack it eh. Takot sila na we will invoke the treaty. So, kahit na andun sila, hindi nila inakyat eh. Kayang-kaya nila i-take over eh. Anytime.
Pero kung sakali po maging successful yung bait nila, let's say maulit-uli nangyari noong June 17, let's say, for some reason, may nagpaputok from our end, gumanti sila.
Dapat hindi tayo magpaputok.
Pero kung sakali nga po by accident?
Hindi. Pag pinasok nila, wala tayong choice but to fire. Pag umakyat sila.
That's BRP Sierra Madre. Pero let's say another vessel doing the resupply mission po.
Huwag tayong magpaputok. Magdadala tayo ng itak.
Pero operationally talagang
mahirap.
Underwhelming ang underwhelmed tayo.
Yeah, underwhelmed tayo. That's why my recommendation is, pahirap ng pahirap yan, we put up a civilian structure. Lighthouse, operated by the Coast Guard, at saka Coast Guard substation, maglagay tayo dalawang malit na Coast Guard vessel, at saka Marine Research Center ng UP Marine Science Institute.
Saan po ito?
Doon sa Union Shoal. We will announce na we will phase out the BRP Sierra Madre dahil talagang kalawang na eh. So, magpapadala tayo ngayon ng materials. Monitor ng China, babarahin tayo niyan. They will block us. So, we go now to the tribunal. Sasabihin natin, this is a civilian function. Coast Guard, civilian, Lighthouse, civilian, Marine Research Center, civilian. We have every right to go there. Pero hininto tayo, bilda kayo ng China. So, Mr. Tribunal declared this act of China illegal against UNCLOS. Dahil yung 2012, sinama natin yung in the 2013 statement of claim natin sa tribunal, we asked the tribunal to declare illegal the harassment of the Chinese Coast Guard. Tuwing magpapadala tayong ship supply sa Sierra Madre at that time, ganyan din ginagawa nila. Inaharang din tayo. Dangerous maneuvers. So, We included that actually sa ating arbitration in 2013. No? Pero sabi ng tribunal, military activity yan, that is outside our jurisdiction dahil in 2006, China made a reservation, allowed under UNCLOS, no, na you can exclude certain activities from the jurisdiction of the tribunal. So, ini-exclude nila yung military activity.
They didn't rule on that.
Oo. So, sabi nila, hindi we cannot rule on that. So, so we convert that presence now from military to civilian. Dapat tatayo tayo doon ng lighthouse, ng Coast Guard substation, at saka Marine Research Center. So, we can go. Kasi takot ang China na magkaroon ng another arbitration case. Yun ang takot nila.
Saan nanggagaling yung fear na yun?
Sinabi ni Wu Shikon. Wu Shikon is the guru of China sa South China Sea. He was the one who convinced the Chinese authorities na yung 9, ngayon 10 line na, should be a claim, hindi lang claim to islands, but to claim the entire waters. Kasi yung Kumintang ang gumawa ng 9 line. It was just a claim to the island. Sabi ng Kumintang, lahat na isla within this line, amin. Isla. They never said lahat na tubig. Ito si Wu Shikon na nag-convince na kasama yung tubig. Kaya nagkakagulo. So, ngayon, yung arbitral award, sabi nila null and void, null and void. Pero sabi ni Wu Shikon, kahit na tinatawag natin yung null and void, it has a negative impact on China that can never be erased. Dahil lahat ng bansa ngayon, US, Europe, Australia, Japan, South Korea, India, sumusuporta na sa arbitral award. So, takot na takot sila na there will be another arbitral award, more country will support us. Ang takot nila talaga. Sabi niya, dapat hintuin, sabi niya ni Wu Shikon sa publicly, sa reported sa news, dapat we should stop the Philippines from filing another case.
What would happen if we filed another arbitration case? How would that impact China po?
Well, China will not appear again. Matatalo ulit sila.
Pero paano nila iindahin yun if they were so affected by the first one?
Sasabihin nila ulit, they will just repeat what they said against the first arbitration case. Wala kasi silang bagong naghahanap sila ng another reason. Wala silang mahanap eh.
If they were so affected po, Justice, ng first arbitration case natin, that means that meron silang issue dun sa international reputation nila.
Yes.
Still, despite everything that they have been doing.
They tried to overwhelm us around the world with their propaganda. Walang naniwala eh. The world listened to the arbitral tribunal eh. So, Europe, lahat sila. North America, Japan, Australia, South Korea, they all support. India, they all support the arbitral award. Eh, pagpapatungan mo pa ng isang arbitral award yan, mas dadami.
I think it was also you who mentioned this. No country has ever issued a statement in support of China's position.
Wala.
On the South China Sea. Tama ba, no?
Kahit na yung Cambodia na the Chinese ally sa ASEAN, tatlo yan sila eh. Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Laos, they never issued a statement.
At most quiet sila.
They just block. Every time we want a statement, binablock lang nila. Dahil talagang walang basis eh. Kahit na Russia, the closest friend of China now, walang sinasabi.
Okay. So, in short, malinaw sa mundo kung sino yung tama, sino yung mali. But still, in reality, China has been getting its way.
Because of might. Because andun sila sa tubig, mas madami silang barko, mas madami silang warships, Coast Guard vessels, dahil lang dyan. Kaya, hindi naman natin kaya tapatan. So we ask our friends, US, EU countries to patrol. Yun ang pangsangga natin to counter. Parang balancing factor yon.
Kung very big an issue for China po yung arbitration, ano yung mga dapat nating i-file sa kanila? Our next legal options.
Ang next legal option natin, remember, we filed our claim sa extended continental shelf.
Which was protested by China.
China protested. Once it's protested, the Commission, UN Commission on the Limits of the Continental Shelf, will freeze. Hindi na sila gagalaw. They will not process it. Dapat, China and the Philippines should negotiate and if they cannot agree, submit it to arbitration. So, ang next step really is arbitration.
So, parang yung ba yung bait natin?
Yes, ito na.
First step.
Oh. But may background ito eh. In 2009, Vietnam and Malaysia filed a joint submission. Dalawang country nag-submit jointly na they claim the extended continental shelf. Kasi di ba may 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone tayo. Meron pa tayong extended continental shelf. We can still claim mga maximum of 150 nautical miles. Vietnam can claim 150, Malaysia can claim 150. So, may overlap tayo doon.
Dapat pag-usapan ng
Yeah, dapat pag-usapan. So, ang ginawa ng Vietnam at saka Malaysia, they jointly submitted, invited us to join. Hindi tayo nag-join. Dahil some of our people sa DFA, sabi nila, paano yung ating Sabah claim? Kasi that means we will recognize now na from Sabah meron silang kanila yon.
Yeah.
So we ask now, the UP Law Center to issue an opinion. Meron ba tayong teritoryo na kiniklaim in Borneo na facing the South China Sea? Pag wala naman, walang mako-compromise. Sabi ng UP Law Center, ang teritoryo ng Sultanate of Sulu never faced the South China Sea. It faced the Celebes Sea and the Sulu Sea.
So walang issue.
Walang issue, walang conflict. So ngayon, pwede na. So sabi nga ng DFA, nag-file tayo, sabi ng Vietnam, we want to settle it in a friendly manner with the Philippines. Ganyan, but they have to file really an opposition dahil pag hindi ka nag-file ng opposition, you accept impliedly. So, nag-file ang Malaysia, I expect Vietnam to file. So, nag-file ng opposition ng China, Malaysia, at saka Vietnam. We go now to arbitration.
That's the next step.
That's the next step. Papayag naman yung Malaysia, Indonesia mag-arbitrate. Ang China ngayon may problema. Kasi, a country can claim maximum of 350 nautical miles. 200 exclusive economic zone, tapos another 150 nautical miles ng extended continental shelf. China, pag i-measure mo yung 350 from Hainan, hindi aabot dito sa area nito.
Kapos na kapos.
Kapos na kapos. So, anong basis ng China to claim it pag nasa arbitration na? Gagamitin uli nila yung 9, ngayon 10 dash line. Na-invalidate na. So, yun ang dilemma nila. Kaya sabi ko, let's file. Mapipilitan ng China not to appear again, mangyari. At saka, ang kalaban ng China ngayon, 3 na, hindi lang tayo. Kasi andyan din yung Malaysia at saka Indonesia, Malaysia and Vietnam.
So checkmate ang China kung sakaling umabot sa punto na yun.
Yes, checkmate ang China. I'm sure China will not appear in the arbitration.
Pero if they do not appear again or participate in the arbitration, it won't preclude the process.
Yeah, kasi nakalagay naman sa UNCLOS, if it is a compulsory arbitration, ito compulsory ito eh. If a party doesn't appear, the tribunal will proceed to decide the case on the merits and render judgment and binding on all parties.
So basically, China was caught between the rock and a hard place dito. Dahil if it didn't protest, tatanggapin.
Yes. Pag hindi nag-protest ang China under the rules,
filing natin.
They accept.
If they protested, may next round.
May next round. Arbitration na. Doon sa arbitration, ang problema nila, gagamitin ulit nila yung 9 dash line as their basis. Sinabi na it has no basis eh.
So this could further expose how ridiculous that
is.
Okay.
Yung kaya takot na takot si Wu Shikon. Kasi siya yung nag-convince eh. Na gamitin natin yung 9 dash line to claim everything. Hindi lang yung isla. All the waters and resources.
Yung proseso po nitong second arbitration, how long
it
might take?
Well, it is not so complicated kasi simple lang ito eh. Ang
simple
issue
measure.
lang, aabot ba yung Hainan, measure 350 nautical miles, aabot pa sa area nito? Out agad sila.
In short, parang hindi kayo kasama rito. Okay, Manggulo. Kami lang mag-uusap.
Yun ang mangyari.
Simply put. Okay. Another legal option. I think you were talking about the ICJ, International Court of Justice.
Ang sabi ng China, Ayungin Shoal is our territory.
Mm.
Pag territory, that means that's above water at high tide, no? Let's challenge China to submit the territorial dispute in the entire West Philippine Sea to arbitration. Isama natin Scarborough Shoal. Dahil sabi ng China, amin yan since 2,000 years ago. Okay, sige. If you really believe na sa inyo yan since 2,000 years ago, dapat may mga ebidensya kayo. Submit it now to ICJ. Kami, meron din kami. Now, hindi naman sisipot yan. Hindi sila sisipot. Wala silang ebidensya eh.
Mm.
Yung sabi na 2,000 years ago, wala silang dokumento eh. Ang kanilang earliest document is 1947 China Handbook. Officially, China claimed the Spratlys only in 1947. Tayo, may mapa tayo 1734, 1808, 1875.
Mm-hmm. So malakas na malakas yung territorial dispute. You've been explaining this in several forums po, including Facts First. Pero siguro, for the benefit of our viewers, yung distinction between the maritime issue and the territorial issue. The maritime issue was settled by the Permanent Court of Arbitration.
Yes.
Bakit itong territorial issue kailangan dalhin sa International Court of Justice po?
Yung UNCLOS deals only on maritime issues. Ang maritime issue is, meron bang exclusive economic zone itong isla na ito? Or hanggang territorial sea lang ito? Meron bang extended continental shelf claim? Yun. Maritime. Yung territorial, sino ba ang may-ari ng isla na ito? Ownership. Land above water at high tide. Kailangan above water at high tide, napaka-importante yan. Pag below water at high tide, maritime. Pag above water at high tide, territorial. So, yung arbitral award dealt only with the maritime. Ngayon, ang naiwan, yung Scarborough Shoal, above water at high tide yan. Yung Pag-asa, yung Ito Aba, lahat above water at high tide. So, ang pwede lang dyan, International Court of Justice or any other international tribunal, provided China will agree to submit to arbitration. Dahil, under international law, you cannot sue a state without the consent of the state.
When it comes to a territory.
When it comes to a territory. Yun naman sa UNCLOS, when you ratify UNCLOS, you give your consent in advance to any future arbitration. Kaya yung China is bound by that. When China ratified UNCLOS, they gave its consent in advance. Lahat, everybody. On those specified issues under compulsory arbitration. So, dito sa sa territorial disputes sa Scarborough Shoal at saka sa Spratlys, we challenge China. Pag talagang believe kayo sa ebidensya ninyo, okay, agree to submit to arbitration.
Have you formally proposed this to the current administration?
Well, I've mentioned it every time, and even yung DND Secretary si
Gibo.
Teodoro Gibo, sinabi niya, let's challenge China. Parang gusto niya na rin let's challenge China to submit it to arbitration, the territorial dispute. And ngayon, sabi ni President Marcos Jr., we have to go beyond the notes verbals. So, ito na siguro yun. Pag, it is one of the issues. Either we go to arbitration on the extended continental shelf or dito, ICC din, isama na natin on the territorial
Pero you
dispute.
haven't formally spoken with the President? Kasi may mga legal team din siya, di ba? Sina Lucas Bersamin, si Enrile.
Ako, hindi naman ako part of government ngayon, so I can only talk to you and to the people.
But your proposals make a lot of sense. So I was wondering, baka naman behind the scenes, they were reaching out, they wanted to hear your proposals.
Well, all my proposals are in the public domain. Lahat yan. I discuss it with you, with all others. Tsaka ina-upload ko yan sa YouTube. So, they're free to use it naman.
How about sa DFA po? Has there been any form of communication to basically actualize these proposals?
Well, I bump into the DFA people, of course, in all these gatherings. We discuss it, but nothing formal.
So far, at least two yung legal routes that you're considering. Another arbitration and ICJ.
Yes.
Meron pa po ba?
Well, meron pa yung sa Scarborough Shoal. dahil the Arbitral Award said na yung Scarborough Shoal common fishing ground among Chinese, Filipino, and Vietnamese fishermen. Pero ngayon, nagmamandando ang China. Hindi, ayaw tayo pinapasok sa lagoon, no? Ganyan din ang Vietnam. So dapat yan, pag common fishing ground, may common rules of fishing. So, ang suggestion ko, let's invite China and Vietnam to sit down, what should be the common ground rules on fishing. Hindi naman sisiputan China. So after that, we can go to the tribunal na ayaw ng China to discuss the ground rules, pero if it's a common fishing ground, there must be ground rules. Ilang tonelada ba bawat taon ang pwede namin kunin? Pwede kunin ng Vietnam, pwede kunin ng ng China, at saka anong months ang fishing season.
Para walang overfishing.
Hindi naman pwede every month, maubos yung isda. Dapat you give time for the fish to regenerate, no? So, I'm sure the tribunal will assume jurisdiction. We can prove that China doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't know whether the DOJ has already completed the preparation for this case, yung environmental damage. Okay?
Yung plano ng DOJ to file a second arbitration case for damage to the marine environment. Ang pinaka-importante dyan, yung marine scientific assessment na nagkaroon ng damage. Dahil you're claiming damages caused by, kasi we're asking for monetary damage, because China destroyed the coral reef. So, nasira nga yung coral reef. Pero madaming reasons, maraming causes. Pwede masira yan ng typhoon, ng tsunami. So, dapat mapakita natin na yung Chinese fishermen o maritime militia ang nagsira. Pag wala tayong video niyan, ang kailangan dyan, marine scientific assessment. Titingnan nila what could have caused it. At that time, wala namang storm, wala namang typhoon. Dapat may scientific basis, no? Tsaka kunin natin yung satellite images at that time. At this time, walang typhoon, walang pero andun yung mga maritime militia vessels ng China, kumpul-kumpul. So, circumstantial sila. Kailangan yun. That's one. Unless we have that, we should not file. So, that is for Skoda Shoal, that's known also as Sabina Shoal, at saka yung sa Rosal Reef, which is Iroquois Reef, no? International name. Pwede tayo, but we have to have that scientific assessment. Ang suggestion ko, dalawa, yung foreign at saka local. Foreign experts gagawa ng assessment, local experts will make the assessment. Dahil pagdating yan sa arbitral tribunal, they will also ask their own independent assessment.
To validate.
To validate. Mag-hire sila ng marine experts, marine biologists to conduct also another assessment. No?
So we have a lot of legal options to address this Chinese activities and aggression po. Pag-usapan naman po natin yung I think pag binomonitor natin yung discussions online, parang magaling talaga yung propaganda ng China eh. And I think one person that should also be discussed often is the former president, Rodrigo Duterte. Ngayon, mas nakakapagsalita freely yung mga former Duterte officials against China's aggression, understandably. Sa inyo po, how do you see the damage wrought by that particular policy by Duterte toward China, as we are seeing now?
Well, ang damage of the Duterte administration, all those 6 years, walang nangyari sa atin. The Duterte administration took over June 30 of 2016. 2 weeks later, July
12.
A month and a half later, July 12, 2016, lumabas yung Arbitral Award. Dapat ginalvanize natin. Kumuha na tayo ng support from all over the world. Pinag-usapan na natin. Katulad ng ginagawa ngayon, wala tayong ginawa. So yung mga ibang bansa, katulad ng European countries, sabi nila, bakit natin ipaglaban yan? Mismo ang Pilipinas, ayaw nila ipaglaban. So nothing happened. Ngayon, ang dami na, sumusuporta na sila. Even South Korea, India, kahit na yung mga European countries na lukewarm sa atin ngayon, nagsasalita na.
kung sakaling ginamit natin yung arbitral victory po as early as that. Kasi I remember, if I'm not mistaken, yung term na ginamit ni Duterte, di ba, he had this cabinet meeting, tapos kalalabas lang ng July 12 arbitral victory natin. Parang sabi niya, gusto ko soft landing. Parang ayaw niyang idikdik sa mukha ng China. And some people were thinking, baka naman ayaw lang ipahiya kasi kabago-bago niya. Pero it took a very, very long time before I actually invoked it. Diba? That was close toward the end of his administration.
Well, aminin na natin linoko tayo. Dahil sinabi niya, remember sa debate, mga debate, sabi niya, magdi-jet ski ako papuntang Scarborough Shoal. Pagdating doon, hahamunin ko yung Chinese guard doon. Barilan tayo. Ngayon, yung naging presidente na siya, sabi niya, loko-loko kayo, stupid kayo pag naniwala kayo sa akin. Hindi nga ako marunong lumangoy eh.
Yun nga eh, parang...
In other words, linoko tayo.
Oo.
Yung pala, he wanted to borrow money daw, 22 billion from China. Wala namang dumating eh. Linoko siya eh. Ang dumating lang yung dalawang bridge. Wala pang ano yun eh. Wala pang 3%, 1% of the promised loans and investments eh. So, talagang linoko tayo ng China. At saka, si President Duterte, linoko rin tayo. Naniwala naman tayo na lalaban siya.
I'd like to challenge that a bit, Justice, yung term na niloko si Duterte. Kasi that presupposes na mukha siyang inosente. Do you see it that way ba? O baka naman parang connivance kayong napapansin?
Hindi. Siguro naniwala siya na bibigyan siya ng pera ng China. I mean, bibigyan ang Pilipinas ng pera, loans and investments. I'm sure he hoped na dumating yon. Pero hindi rin dumating eh. Kasi tingin ng China, hindi natin sigurado sino yung papalit. Sa atin lang, yung presidente lang. Lahat naman ng mga tao, 80%, ayaw eh.
Oo.
So, baka they will be throwing good money after bad, no? So, they were not sincere in those promises. Halata naman eh.
Oo nga po eh. Tsaka yung issue na ngayon, nakikita natin, Chinese influence, it's all over social media. Isa sa mga kinakatakutan ay yung mga kandidato na pwedeng suportahan ng China. Sa perspective nyo, gaano kaseryoso yung banta na yun po?
Well, ang China, ang tingin nila, we don't have to go to war against the Philippines to bring the Philippines to our orbit. Yung kanilang national grid, nasa atin na yan. Kontrolado nila.
40%?
40%, pero puro mga Chinese technicians eh. Tapos yung madami na tayong tao dyan, mga pogo, madami na tayong strategic investment. I'm sure namili na sila ng lupa facing the South China Sea, di ba? Madami tayong So, sabi nila, kaya natin kunin yung Pilipinas, bayaran na lang natin yung mga leaders nila, mas mura pa.
Yun ang mas masakit, Justice.
Yeah, that has been their strategy even in other countries. Capture the leadership.
So you don't see a shooting war happening, at least not triggered by intention?
No, China doesn't want to go to war. America doesn't want to go to war. Why? Because China has only at most 500 nuclear bombs. The US has 5,500. If there will be a nuclear war, not a single Chinese citizen will survive. Walang maiiwan sa kanila. Totally. Talagang maubos sila. America, US, there might be areas where they will suffer substantial damage, but they will survive. So, under that situation, China will not go to war. Dahil suicide yan sa kanila. Ngayon, ang doctrine ng China, sa three warfare doctrine nila, we will win the South China Sea without firing a single shot. How? Intimidation. We have the biggest standing army in the world. We have the largest naval fleet in the world. We have the largest Coast Guard fleet in the world. We have the largest submarine force. Tinatakot tayo. Kaya binubuli tayo eh. Kasi ang kanilang strategy is to intimidate us na wala kayong laban. Accept the 9-dash line, 10-dash line as the national boundary, and then there will be peace. Yun ang kanilang sinasabi.
Yeah.
So, they don't want to war because pag may gera, it can easily escalate into a nuclear war that will be the end of China.
Yeah.
And of course, substantial damage to the U.S., but the U.S. will survive.
But of course, even the Philippines definitely doesn't want that. No?
Yeah, we don't want war also. That's why my advice is go legal. Why fight them in the sea when we can fight them in a courtroom at The Hague and we will win? We cannot lose. If we fight them in the sea, wala tayong panalo. Napakadami nilang warships. We cannot win against China in the open sea. China cannot win against us in the courtroom at The Hague. So, saan tayo pupunta? Courtroom in The Hague.
Hindi ba kayo na-frustrate, Justice? Kasi even during the time of Duterte, nadidinig na natin ito. Pag nanindigan sa China, gusto nyo kasi ng gera. Hanggang ngayon, it's a very consistent narrative by China's propagandists.
Yeah, pero that is not the... ang sabi ko nga, no, we don't want war with China and we are foolish to start a war with China. We will bring China to the court and we can never lose. If we join China in the sea and fight them, we can never win. I've been saying that all along. Where is the war there? No, we don't want war.
And so far, what do you think of the way the current administration is handling this great power competition between China and the U.S. over the South China Sea?
Well, so far,
with the Philippines in the middle.
So far, this current administration is doing the right thing. Saying the right thing and doing the right thing. Saying the right thing, the President said, we will not surrender square inch of Philippine territory. We will assert that arbitral award. Second, strengthen our alliances, ask our allies to conduct freedom of navigation operations in the West Philippines. They're doing exactly that. Yun ang recommendation ko eh. They're doing exactly that. So I'm happy with what this administration is doing as far as the West Philippine Sea is concerned.
Ibang issue na ibang bagay.
Well, I don't want to go to the other issues.
Finally, Justice, no? I know you've been used to speaking through your decisions, no? As a member of the Supreme Court, pero publicly, talagang very vocal kayo about the South China Sea dispute. May mga viewers tayo na ordinary Filipinos. How would you make them better understand what is at stake dito sa pinaglalaban nyo?
Well, ang pinaglalaban natin dito, ang West Philippine Sea, our exclusive economic zone, the area, yung area ng exclusive economic zone natin, is larger than the total land area of the Philippines. Yun ang mawawala sa atin. Ang langis doon, oil, gas, fish, all other mineral resources mawawala sa atin. At saka we can never recover. The moment China succeeds in getting the West Philippine Sea, we cannot recover that because China is a nuclear power. How can you get it from China? So this is the only fight, our only chance to defend the West Philippine Sea. If we lose, tapos na. Hindi na natin ma-recover yan. So pag hindi natin pinaglaban ngayon, wala na. Our children and grandchildren and the generations after them will never get the oil, gas, fish, and other mineral resources of an area larger than our total land area. Yun ang mawawala sa atin.
Justice Carpio, thank you very much for joining us in this Facts First Convo. Maraming salamat. That was a very substantial discussion. Thank you kay Justice Carpio. Malinaw po yung issues, no? So, siguro responsibility nyo bilang mga viewers, huwag maniwala sa fake news, huwag maniwala sa pro-China propaganda, pati na rin sa mga propaganda na nagsaserve only to serve particular interest. Doon lang po tayo sa facts. So, maraming salamat po. Ako po si Christian Esguera.